As I embarked on my journey that fateful night, little did I know the horrors that awaited me on the desolate road ahead. The darkness loomed, swallowing everything in its sinister grasp, while the moon peeked through the eerie clouds, casting an ominous glow upon the world. I tightened my grip on the steering wheel, my heart racing with trepidation. It was time to face the terror that awaited me on this harrowing drive. The wind howled like a banshee, rattling the windows of my car as if begging me to turn back. But I was determined to conquer my fears and reach my destination. The radio crackled with static, sending shivers down my spine. Ignoring the unsettling atmosphere, I continued down the road, the only source of light being the dim beams from my headlights. Minutes turned into hours as the road stretched out before me, seemingly endless. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the shadows, standing in the middle of the road. My heart skipped a beat as panic coursed through my veins. I slammed on the brakes, bringing my car to a screeching halt just inches away from the mysterious figure. Sweat dripped down my forehead as I peered through the windshield, trying to make out its face. The figure slowly turned, revealing a pale, ghastly visage. It was a woman, her eyes vacant and hollow, her tattered clothes billowing in the wind. Her hair hung in dirty, matted strands, obscuring parts of her face. I felt a chill crawl up my spine and a sense of dread washed over me. I knew I should drive away, but something compelled me to stay. With a trembling hand, I rolled down the window, my voice barely a whisper. "Are you all right?" I asked cautiously. The woman's mouth opened, but instead of words, a guttural moan escaped her lips. Fear paralyzed me momentarily, but I couldn't leave her there, alone in the darkness. I hesitantly stepped out of the car, feeling the cold air seep into my bones. The woman's eyes followed my every move, her gaze penetrating my soul. As I approached her, she reached out a hand, her touch sending shivers down my spine. I recoiled, but her grip was unyielding. Panic consumed me as her icy fingers tightened around my wrist, pulling me closer. Suddenly, the woman's mouth widened into a grotesque smile, revealing rows of jagged, decaying teeth. Her jaw unhinged with a sickening crack, and a bone-chilling laughter echoed through the night. I screamed, desperately trying to break free, but her grip was inhumanly strong. I could feel her icy breath against my face, reeking of death and decay. In a last-ditch effort to escape, I kicked and thrashed, managing to break free from her grasp. I stumbled backward, frantically scrambling to get back to my car. As I fumbled for my keys, I glanced over my shoulder, only to find the woman gone. The road was empty, devoid of any trace of her existence. Shaken to the core, I peeled out of there, my heart pounding in my chest. The road seemed to stretch on forever, the darkness becoming suffocating. Shadows danced at the edge of my vision, whispering malevolently. I dared not look back, for fear of what I might see lurking behind me. Finally, as the first light of dawn peeked over the horizon, I arrived at my destination. I stumbled out of the car, my legs weak from the terror I had endured. I knew I would never forget that night, the night I encountered pure horror on a desolate road. From that moment on, I became a changed person. The harrowing encounter with the mysterious woman had opened my eyes to the darker forces that lurk in the shadows. I couldn't shake off the feeling that I had glimpsed into a realm beyond our own, a realm of nightmares and malevolence. Haunted by the experience, I delved into research, desperate to find answers and make sense of what had transpired. Ancient legends and folk tales spoke of restless spirits and vengeful entities that roamed the night, preying on unsuspecting travelers. It seemed that I had crossed paths with one of them, a lost soul trapped in a never-ending cycle of torment. Driven by a newfound determination, I sought out experts in the supernatural and paranormal. I consulted with mediums, studied occult texts, and visited haunted locations. I was determined to unravel the truth behind that fateful encounter and find a way to protect myself from such horrors in the future. As the months went by, I began to piece together the puzzle. It seemed that the desolate road I had traveled upon that night was a hotbed for supernatural occurrences. Countless stories echoed through the whispers of the locals, tales of apparitions, and spectral encounters. I delved deeper, collecting testimonials and documenting the eerie happenings that plagued the area. Armed with this knowledge, I established a support network for those who had experienced similar encounters. We formed a group dedicated to investigating and understanding the paranormal, vowing to shine a light on the darkness that prowled the night. Together, we studied, shared experiences, and devised strategies to protect ourselves and others from the terrors that lurked in the shadows. Our efforts were met with mixed results. Some nights brought us face to face with otherworldly entities, testing our courage and resolve. We encountered restless spirits, malevolent specters, and even entities of unknown origin. The encounters were terrifying, but we persisted, driven by the belief that understanding and empathy could bring us closer to the truth. Years passed, and our group grew in numbers and influence. We became a beacon of hope for those tormented by the supernatural, offering solace and guidance in the face of fear. Our research and investigations led to the discovery of ancient rituals and protective measures, helping countless individuals find respite from the horrors that plagued their lives. As for me, the driver whose journey took a horrifying turn, I found my purpose in unraveling the mysteries of the paranormal. The encounter that had once terrified me had become a catalyst for change, igniting a passion within me to explore the unexplored and confront the unimaginable. Though the road that night had led me to the brink of terror, it had also led me to an unwavering determination to confront the darkness head-on. And as long as there were others in need, I would continue to drive forward, armed with knowledge, courage, and a flicker of hope, navigating the perilous path between the realms of the living and the dead.